YouTube, this is the ribs part 2. I don't think you'll ever really be done with ribs just because well, they're awesome and they taste really good, and well, you can always add some new seasonings or flavorings or do something a little different, which I always recommend trying something a little bit different, not too crazy, just to see if you like it. Alright, so this is for people who want to do ribs, especially competition type ribs, without aluminum foil. Once again, you're going to want to make sure that your coals are low, so low heat. You can kind of spread them out a little bit once you get them started pretty good. You're going to want to not put your food on there right away because the fluid has to burn out of the coals. So wait until they're about 20 to 25% cherry just to get all the fluid out. If you have them roll in aluminum foil, you don't have to worry about that so much, but I still like to just do that anyway. There should be plenty of life left on the coals to cook over the next 2 and 3 hours, so which is about how long it should take if you're going to do them my way, and they're going to be really good. None of that quick, done in 20 or 30 minutes. I mean, you can with the fast, hot and fast, high heat, fast cooking, but I don't know, they're just not as good, but they'll do in a pinch. So anyway, all right. One of the other big things you want to do is once you have your coals and everything going, is get like a aluminum or metal can and put some water in there so that it kind of boils and steams the food while it's in there, especially if you're not using aluminum foil with the juices and light sauce and oils and stuff mixed already in the bag. So this will help kind of keep it tenderized while it's in there. Stay on your temperature, make sure your temperature is good and even. If you need to move things around, add a little bit, but try to open up the grill top as few times as possible, which is something I always have to tell people who use my grill or trying to cook while I'm cooking, which I really don't like. Kind of throws my stuff off. But the fewer times you open it up, because then the heat in there has to rebuild back up, and once it gets a good flow, it cooks the meat just that much better. So if you've done your history and you've looked at the other video I made, you should definitely have marinated your meat, seasoned it lightly, all that kind of stuff. You're keeping an eye on your airflow, and you got your meat in there. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is, well, first of all, when you put your meat on there, this is what I do when I cook with no foil. I use the high heat, so 25% in, your coals are going good, and what you're going to want to do is put the meat on the grill, right on the hot grill, in the flame if there's flame. Mine, you can kind of adjust the whole coal level, so that kind of works nicely. But what you're going to want to do is put the meat side down. All right, so what that means is, you know how the meat is going to curve, and the bottom side you see the bones and the membrane, and taking the membrane is off is up to you, but you're going to want to leave it meat side down until the whole top has a really nice light brown reddish glow to it. All right, so it's like it's seared just nicely, it's still not reddish to dark red, but just seared. Okay, and then what you're going to want to do is put those on. If you have a higher rack, definitely put it on a higher rack. If not, you're going to make sure your coals are low, and so you might even want to like just move the whole ribs to the side. Some people have a stone or one of those mats that you can kind of diffuse the heat from directly hitting it, but you just want it to then cook really slow as possible, to the point where like the coals look like they're gonna go out, but they're not. They're still good to go. So what you want to do is open it up and even out the coals from a pyramid form. Spread them out so that they're all even. That will distribute the heat around on the inside a lot better, and that'll bring the temperature down a little bit. Once you do that, now you're going to put the meat back on with the membrane side down and the meat side up. I would then go in, if you want to put sauce in there, put a generous amount of sauce in there, slather it, and then close the cover. And like here on mine, you're going to want to make sure that these bottom vents are closed. Now, at this point in time, and also the top one, at this point in time, your meat, from the time you've seared it, it sat on there with the meat searing on the top for a couple minutes, and then now you've got it, the coals even, and the you know, it's just low heat. And this has been probably all that taking you about a good hour and a half, something like that. The coals are even. Now you're gonna want to just leave it with the membrane side down, close the top and the bottom. Okay, so you should have your coals in there, they're even. Maybe put some chunks of small cherry wood or oak or plum or pecan or whatever else in there, and just close it. Because now you almost want to smother it. Now the coals will still burn the wood, but at a slower pace, and the coals don't really need oxygen to burn, so they're going to continue to give off heat until they're out of coal. This smothering effect is going to cause the heat to tenderize, all the juices and things that are going to come from the flavoring of the oils that are dripping to the fire. They're going to burn in there, and they're just going to smother it and tenderize it and cook it and caramelize the seasonings and the barbecue sauce or whatever you put on there, and make for some really awesome ribs. So that's that, and that's on the grill. I already told you how to do it in the stove for those people who like to do it in the oven or have a broiler, which they don't make the good kind anymore for obvious reasons. But that's about it, guys. So enjoy your ribs, and if you need step-by-step additional instructions, then you know where to find me. My information is down below. Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye.